Down to 2, then down to 1. I cannot wait to get to Santa Clara. There's so much going on. We are trying to book the best possible show with the best guests, not even just from the football world. Stars from, we've got like Oscar-nominated people wanting to come on the show. We've got NFL owners. We've got people from the world of baseball and golf and all over the spectrum of guests popping by the show at Radio Row that week. So we're excited. We'll be there Monday through Friday. Then the game, then the big game. Lots of things happening. So we've got great guests until then. Of course, we have a Super Bowl champion. Knows a thing or two about a conference championship weekend. Justin Reid on the show. Better record second half with the Saints than the Chiefs had. How's he feeling about that? We also have Uncle Bruce Arians on the program. Much to talk about. Let's dig in. Days away from conference championship Sunday. Let's look at the slate, shall we? Down to 4 teams. Patriots, they go from this is interesting, FanDuel, 5.5-point faves down to 4.5 for Jarrett Stidham. That hype train is gaining momentum. Seahawks, 2.5-point favorites over the Rams. In the late game, we will have guests from both of those teams on the show for you tomorrow. Like I told you, star-studded up in Adam's lineup. Thanks, FanDuel. And we have one of those AFC championship teams are giving us a guest as well to chat it up with ahead of this. I'm very excited. I like these teams. I like the storylines. I like the quarterbacks. We have the opportunity, Hamilton, for like a Jarrett Stidham, you know, to like become a star because the backup. Like I like the backup story. I like the backup to the Super Bowl story. I like what it does for Sean, who I love. I love what it does. Just like I like that narrative. I like that it's a backup. I do. I think it's kind of perfect.
It is fun. And Stidham's somebody we've talked about for a while. And didn't expect him to get a shot on necessarily this stage, but I remember we were talking about it a little bit yesterday, going back to our Good Morning Football days and draft stories and profiling him landing with the Patriots in that situation. And then that clip got resurfaced courtesy of one of our best fans out there, you and Matt Castle, talking about Stidham after that Raiders game a couple years ago.
We have a couple of fans who know me better than I know me. And that's just the truth. He's one, half-wit, whatever.
Half-wit humanoid,
That guy. You know what I got? I got a DM from someone this morning, I'm sure he's watching, a great fan of the show. He goes, I want to remind you to have a countdown clock at Super Bowl. He goes, I remember last year at Super Bowl, and you weren't there. Like, you didn't know what time it was. You never knew what time it was. And he goes, just make sure you have a countdown clock. And I just went, will you marry me? Like... to have that, like, to remember, I didn't even remember that. I thought that was amazing. Anyway, so thank you to the fans who are watching. You know what, Bills fans, Bears fans, Packers fans, both hating me right now because I think you're both stupid with the chanting and the going back and forth. Not stupid, but you both do it. I shouldn't say stupid. I like it. I quite enjoy it. The Packers chants, like, I'd like maybe Chicago to grow up a little bit. I think they will. The mark of Chicago will be when they stop chanting, Packers suck, because now you have a bigger fish to fry in the Rams or whatever. You know, like you will be better. You know. Yeah. That I'm excited for. But it's very funny because Packers fans or Bears fans are like, keep talking about us. You can't stop talking about us, Romeo Dobbs. I asked Romeo Dobbs about y'all. So firstly, that's what I did. It's my job. But then to have Packers fans be like, we don't talk about you. All y'all do is talk about each other. So you're both guilty, and you're both petty, and you should at least own that. The end.
It is 100% both sides, and it's great that it's on both sides.
Aaron Rodgers, I own the Bears. Bears fans, you guys were okay with that? You like that? No, you didn't. Clay Matthews making it about the Bears at the draft. Petty Murphy. Petty, a web of petty that only he could spin. And then Chicago gives it back in their biggest moment, their biggest loss. They're chanting before and after the game about the Packers. Y'all are obsessed with each other, and you're mad about it, and that's fine with me. Okay, thanks, Tam. That's my little PSA for today, because you're both mad at me, but, just own it. Own that you're petty. I own when I'm petty. Oh, do I? Okay, let's talk about this. A lot of Broncos love yesterday. I'm very excited about the Broncos. Love the Patriots. Love. Couldn't be happier for like a Marcus Jones. Drake May, fantastic guy. I love the whole organization. Pearl and Stacey James. I'm very, very excited about the Broncos side of it. But I do want to get into the Patriots here because, first of all, I know it wasn't perfect, but I feel like he hasn't gotten enough credit this week for his ability to navigate nightmare situations, and I'm talking about Drake May. Stay with me. Let's go. First of all, I know it wasn't perfect, but let's take a look. There was some nightmare condition. Just the second quarterback to throw for 3 touchdown passes against Houston's defense in their last 25 games. Second of all, there's a lot of stupid schedule talk. I hate schedule talk. I hate it before the season. I hate it when schedule release happens, and I hate it after. The impending matchup with Jarrett Stidham does seem to be dominating the conversation. We're preemptively trying to take credit away from a potential superstar run. I do want to say this. If Drake and the Patriots win this game and make it to the Super Bowl, Drake has navigated one of the toughest paths a quarterback has ever had to navigate from a defensive standpoint ever. Ever. No hyperbole. He already took down the Chargers and their 5th-ranked defense, the Texans and their number 1 defense, and now he gets the number 2-ranked Broncos. This is where he can make history because since the 1970 merger, no quarterback ever, no hyperbole, ever, no quarterback has taken down 3 teams with a top 5 total defense in a single playoff run. Not one. Not one. And if Drake, pulls that off, I don't want to hear what I'm already... I've been in this game a long time, y'all. I know what's a-coming. It's, well, Stidham was on the other side, so it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. This will be a hell of a run. And it's not going to get easier after that. He's going to have to crack Seattle's number 1 scoring defense. Or he'll have to outduel MVP candidate Matthew Stafford if he wants to take home the Lombardi, another one for Kraft in New England. He's going to have to earn it. And if he keeps playing the way he has been, he's got a great, great shot. It would be very cool to see. Somehow, Hamilton, fans will find a way. Broncos fans will.
Yeah.
And Broncos fans, I love you. Fans will find a way to argue the numbers. I think that's so crazy. Like, we don't really present, like, a hot takey. Like, we literally present you guys numbers. Here's Josh's numbers. Here's Patrick's. Here's this. And people are like, no, they'll find like, how you're going to find a problem with what we just said? Actually, I'm curious. Is there, can we try to call our shot on, like, how someone's going to tear down what we just said? It's literally just numbers.
Yeah, they're going to make it about, oh, well, the Chargers' offensive line, the Chargers couldn't score, so that made it, or C.J. Stroud turned it over a bunch. So, yeah, that'll be what people say.
Well, that's just rich, Internet. You take that and enjoy. We have Justin Reid on our show, former Chief. And so we were thinking about the Chiefs, and we talked to a lot of people. We have Bruce Arians on the show as well. Very excited to maybe hear his thoughts on Eric Bieniemy and the like. With the coaching news, it became official. We talked about it yesterday a little bit. Eric Bieniemy is headed back to the Chiefs. He'll be their OC, and that is to be celebrated. And if for nothing else, then he's going to bring the run game back in a big way, and that is a huge deal. Can we all just agree on something here? Let's not forget this team had its best offensive era with EB working alongside Andy Reid. You heard how excited Travis Kelce was on his pod about it. You know, I love that. By the way, Travis coming back, obviously. You know this wouldn't happen if Mahomes didn't want it. They probably ran it by him and said, you want him back? Look, this ran its course, came back. Let's run this back to a Super Bowl. And we've not talked about how much the run game has struggled since he left. And by we, I mean you, because we talked about it all season. In the 3 years post-Bieniemy, the Chiefs' run game ranked 30th in rushing, in yards per carry, dead last in explosive runs. They did go to the 2 Super Bowls in that span and win one without a run game, by the way. That, my friends, is a different conversation. The point here is, what a huge, colossal drop-off from where they were the previous 5 seasons when you had the Mahomes-Bieniemy era with Andy Reid, despite the fact that they had different leading rusher every single year. They were guys, not exactly household names, where EB sort of gets the most, squeezes the most out of a Pacheco and a Williams and a Clyde Edwards-Helaire and other Williams, Damian of the variety, Kareem Hunt. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Bears' run game went from 25th to 3rd with him in charge of the running back room. You hear what I'm saying, and Ben Johnson? Like, you hear it? So the man knows how to coach the running game. He's accountable, gets the most out of guys, and they need that because I'm telling you right now, you get that run game back to a C+, if we're grading it, just a little bit above average. And that passing game is going to start to click, and we are somehow forgetting the greatness of these Chiefs. So we're excited about that. Bruce Arians, is he into this idea? How much say should a quarterback have in a coaching decision? We got so many storylines. Loved him on McAfee yesterday. We'll build upon that and that excellent work with Bruce Arians after this. I have something I have to ask BA about, but I have to text you and see if it's appropriate. I need like
God.
I need you to like see like just is it like inappropriate?
Yeah.
Is there anything inapropos
Bye-bye.
about it? That's Broncos Sunday.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Is there a Google you could do for me? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go for it.
I'm
Not
also,
like it's live television. Go on.
Yeah. I don't want you to lose your place. I'm gonna make the font a little bit bigger here.
Thank you. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Perfs. I'm ready to go. I love when we have BA on the show. I always feel like I need to be like calm down.
I know.
Because I'm like, and he's just like, cool as fuck. Yeah, run game. Bring a run game back. By the way, we complain about the run game every week.
Yeah. And it matters. Like when, teams have gone 2 years knowing they don't have to worry about the Chiefs run game at all. And if you don't think that affects the passing game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So in Jarrett Stidham we trust? I'm so in. It's so good.
I love how it is fun how like the Broncos fans have totally rallied around this thing too. Like they're all in. They're not hedging it there,
What does it say about, being a quarterback not that hard? I don't understand. Bo, not good?
No. I think there's a belief in
I had that
I think James...
Mike Evans bobblehead I wanted.
Oh, man.
They sent me a bobblehead. That's what got me thinking. Is he done? Is he done?
Yeah.
What's the latest on that? I'll ask Coach.
There's not really a lot out there about it. I think he's taking a second to breathe after the season. We'll see what happens.
What's going on with Levante?
Beyond him bringing up his retirement talk to you, even though he's really...
How much fun would it be if they were, like, sure, Seahawks, great, like, okay, like, the Buccaneers would have been my favorite story. Baker would be so freaking fun. Baker's a story he's not even playing.
Yeah.
One tweet, world on fire. And then, like, and it was their 50th year, would be so nice. You know what I mean? I'm sad for them.
Yeah.
About them. Okay. My next guest, a two-time NFL Coach of the Year, Super Bowl champion, senior advisor for the Buccaneers, Coach Bruce Arians. How are you?
I'm doing great, Kay. How you doing?
A little sad. We only have 3 games left,
Yeah, it's getting down to the wire.
It is. It's getting exciting. I'd like to start with Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
He's not on the slate. He ain't playing this weekend, but somehow he's in the news. How much do I love Baker? Let me count the ways. That's how I feel. He jumps on Twitter to say he's waiting on a call from Kevin Stefanski, his former coach, after getting, quote, shipped off like a piece of garbage from Cleveland. Hall of Famer coach Joe Thomas said Baker should have reached out himself. What do you think?
Oh, I definitely think when you trade a player away, you need to talk to him. I don't think it's a silent treatment for sure. But, I can see how Baker feels, and I'd feel the same way if I was him.
Got the Browns to 11-5 in 2020, their first playoff win since 1994, lest you internet trolls remember. 6-8 the next season, fighting through that shoulder injury before bringing in Watson. I hate this for the Bucs. I wanted it so bad for them. He struggled down the season. How much was the injury a factor in your eyes and how he played down the stretch?
Yeah, I think it mattered. That and we kept blowing leads, and I think he felt like he had to put it all on his shoulders. Early in the year, he had the magic, and he pulled the games out. Later in the year, he couldn't quite get it done.
Coach, am I bracing myself for like a Bucs world without Mike Evans and Levante David next season?
I don't know about Mike. I think Levante probably has is going to retire, but I never count him out, because he goes back every year, see how he's feeling, and the guy's amazing. I mean, he just stays in great shape, and but I think Mike. I'd be shocked if Mike retires.
A lot of coaching news going on. I like that I love you on McAfee. You just let it rip. It's so great. What bit of the coaching news in the ecosystem is most interesting to you right now? Whether it's a vacancy or a storyline?
Well, I think it's, the fact that Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, and Sean McDermott are on the jobs. That's shocking. And who the hell is going to fill them? I think everybody's looking for that new, young, offensive guy, and there really aren't that many out there. There's only one Sean McVay, and if you touch Sean, you get a job. But it's a good defensive hiring cycle. There's some really good defensive coaches, but who the hell is going to run the offense? Everybody wants to know who's going to handle their quarterback, and that's the problem right now. It's been an offensive trend the last few years, but I think the defensive side, this year is a lot stronger candidates.
Only one offensive guy hired so far. If you were weighing options between I get to go be with Lamar in Baltimore or I get Josh Allen and whatever's going on with the promoted Brandon Beane up there in Buffalo, what's the sexier job?
Oh, gosh, I think probably Baltimore. Even though the expectation levels are so high. But I think Baltimore could easily win back their division. Their division really wasn't that strong. New England being back in the hunt, being really good, but Mike Vrabel wasn't going anywhere, that's for sure. I think Buffalo, I just don't like the structure of what happened there.
He's running the search. Brandon Beane gets a promotion, president of football ops. You said yesterday on McAfee, you said, why would you promote Brandon Beane? So I ask you, why would you promote Brandon Beane? Like, if you're thinking just organizationally, why did that happen? Just Terry, he's in Terry's ear?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's a relationship that must be pretty strong because Sean McDermott is one hell of a coach. And it didn't sound like there was a big power struggle going on. I personally didn't think that this was the best Buffalo team that they've had in the last 3 or 4 years going into the playoffs. I thought they were missing a dynamic outside threat to go along with Josh. Defensively, Sean did a great job putting the pieces in there, but to me, their secondary couldn't lock down anybody. To fire the coach after Buffalo forgot where they were 8 years ago. And it's easy to fall right back there, especially with New England being back on top.
And I think to your point, if he can't do it, and that is it like a safe place to go work?
Well, I don't know how this power structure is going to work now with Barron taking over the whole thing, and you answer to him, not the owner. I've never liked that situation. I've always felt like head coach, general manager had to be hand in hand, in it together, answering the ownership. I think that's the way it's worked the best wherever I've been, and we've been successful. To have a third party up top that you answer to, and not the owners. I don't see that working very often.
Yeah, it's unattractive. It's a little. These are things that the coaches that they want in that building will consider in taking these meetings and making these decisions. And then you factor in this other party named Josh Allen, and Terry said that Josh quote will be a part of the team to help select a new coach. Is that real? Because I've heard this throughout it's oh, of course he's involved, but is that performative? Across the board?
Yeah, I mean, if Josh is the head coach, you're probably going to pick 1 or 2 guys that he's worked with. So Brady or Brian Dable. All right, now Brian just got fired. All right, Joe was obviously there, so why the hell would you fire Sean McDermott and hire the offensive coordinator? That one doesn't make any sense either. That shows me there's a trail of blood somewhere.
Ooh. People are pointing to the trail to Buffalo in Davis Webb, a good friend of his age, buddies.
Yeah, I mean, again, hire a guy that has never called plays, all right, and he's going to be the head coach play caller. That's a hell of a tough job. There's only 3 or 4 or 5 guys doing that. I would definitely hire somebody that has done it, that's called plays. That if you're going to be the head coach, now if you're going to hire an offensive coordinator and be a executive head coach, that's fine.
Who do you like there? Do you like a Cliff Kingsbury? Do you like a?
No, I think really the best fit is Brian, because he had so much success with Josh. And but again, you could probably got him if you wanted him as the offensive coordinator and kept showing.
Listen, that's very fair. When it comes to the quarterback having a say, like as a coach, is it like an eye roll for you? Like what level should the quarterback have say, or is it more like, we'll listen to what you say. Okay, now let's hire the guy. It's a different perspective they have. To feel included, I think, is a very smart move to make a quarterback feel included. But how much say should a quarterback like Josh Allen have?
Well, I think you definitely keep him in the loop. And but it's, again, players shouldn't just be deciding who the coach is, but
helping decide.
I think you should have a hand in it. And if we're the deciding group, we're telling you why we're hiring this guy, and let you be informed and be a part of it.
I'm so curious because obviously you know Tom Brady in New England never got to say anything, and I imagine Gronk told me yesterday that down in Tampa it was different. He had a little bit of a say. What's like the line of like what level of success or tenure as a quarterback should you earn to get a piece at that table to be heard? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think first of all you should have a championship ring on your finger.
So you have to be a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, you give me a 6-time one, and I'll listen a bunch. So it's like for Tom and us, it was a collaboration all the way, but that's the way it was with me for all our quarterbacks.
Do we have that list, guys? No. We had so here's most playoff wins. Well, I would have loved. Yeah, here we go. So you have to have a ring. So anybody who doesn't have a ring shouldn't have a say. So Stafford gets a say. Allen shouldn't get a say. Rodgers gets a say. Jalen gets a say. Joe doesn't get a say.
That's about the way it goes.
I love that. I think that's very clean. I like that a lot. Coach, The Athletic did a poll with 10 of your peers, okay, coaches and high-ranking team executives, and they had the Bills as the most attractive job opening over the Ravens. I love that you're saying everything that you're saying. The Cardinals ranked low on this poll. Why should one of the top candidates out there want the job in the desert?
There's only 32, and everybody wants to be a head coach. So. Guys will, and I think that, when I took that job, it was probably in the same situation. We were last, the NFC West was rolling, and, we had a good defense. We picked up Carson Palmer, and then basically we won the West in 2 years. So it was, I think it's always every job's an attractive job. You just got to do it right.
Okay, let's take a look at Championship Sunday. Can I see the slate, please, control room? Thanks for joining Up and Adams, Coach. Love having you on the show. Justin Reid joining us in a little bit. So the Rams defense, my friend, has had Sam Darnold's number this season. He's thrown 6 interceptions in those 2 games. If you're Clint Kubiak and the offensive staff in Seattle, what are you drawing up to make sure that doesn't happen Sunday?
I think you have to establish a run for sure and keep the run game going so that you could throw those play actions. Sam is so good in the play. If Sam drops back 25 times in this game, it's not going to be good. That defense, that sack machine they got from LA is too good. And but I think again too, I think Seattle's defense has to answer the bell, get some short fields, get some turnovers, which isn't easy against Matthew Stafford. But I think they've done it in the past, and the 12 is real. That crowd is something special. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I did pick the Rams to win it, though.
Yeah, special teams has been a huge factor for Seattle as well. You picked the Rams to win. Can you? I don't need convincing that Matthew Stafford is the MVP, but I feel like the past couple of weeks, if we look at regular season versus playoffs, I think we have that to show you here as well. He comes through when it matters, which is great. When you watch him, has he looked like MVP Matthew Stafford? What have you seen?
Yeah, I think he struggled a little bit more in Carolina and last week than I thought he would. He started so hot in Chicago. I said, they're going to blow the doors off of him. And boom, then the Bears come right back and make it one hell of a game. And I don't think the weather had anything to do with it because Matthew spins it so good. The weather doesn't affect his ball. But again, clutch time, he's been there, he's done it. You're not going to show him anything he hasn't seen, and he knows how to handle it. You know, the Bears had some blitzes working early. Sean and Matthew figured out on the sideline and ended up beating them against the blitz at the end of the game.
In these games, and even watching Carolina, it's like he starts hot, like you're saying, and then there's some sort of weird lull, and then he comes back at the end to win it. It's like very anti, like Caleb's going like this, usually Stafford, but there's like some sort of thing, and I guess I hope they figure it out. It'd be nice to see and obviously solidify him in that 2 Super Bowl club, which we love for him. Yeah, I guess, super interesting. If I look at the AFC, why do I feel like people like Stidham, or they're more confident in the Broncos with Stidham? What's happening?
Yeah, that's a funny one. You know, I think it's like everybody got excited because Jarrett Stidham's going to play, which I think is great press coming out of Denver. You know, I think Sean being so positive and knowing how Sean can throw that bait out there. But
why would he do that? Why would I want to put pressure on this kid? Why would he do that?
I think it's taking pressure off.
Really?
I think they're building him up, and you know, he can sling it. Now, the one thing about Jarrett, he can sling the ball, and you know, he's not quite the runner Bo is, but he's still athletic enough to get out and make hurt you. And with their defense and everything they got going on, I don't think that backup quarterback's going to be the issue in this game.
So you're just he's trying to make his quarterback confident, or like what? Because like, you know, it's like Jim said all these great things about Justin, and I read that as like before the season, right? Like, this is my guy. He's like, I understand what he's doing there, building confidence. Like, is that what coach is doing? Because it seems antithetical to me. To be like, if somebody said Kay's gonna crush it, I'd be like, shut the F up, Sean. Like, let me work. Oh, undersell, over deliver. Why is he doing the opposite?
Yeah, I think that's just, you know, sending that message out there. Hey, don't think you're coming in for any kind of cakewalk. And I love it. That's Sean. And I think, you know, we went to bat with Drew Stanton a few times, and we won a bunch of almost every game he played for us as our backup quarterback. So it's just a matter of having a lot of faith in your guy.
Coach, you played 4 quarterbacks in one season with the Cardinals, and you made the playoffs. It is part of the Bruce Arians lore. Talk nitty-gritty to me. What is the most challenging part about adjusting a game plan from one quarterback to another? Because it feels like, is it hard?
Oh, it's really hard. Yeah, especially. I mean, you know, we had drafted Logan Thomas, and he was with us the whole time, but he wasn't quite ready. We had a little package for him in that game. We used a little bit, but you know, we brought Ryan Lindley back because he was a very, very bright guy, knew the system, and he played pretty solid. He threw 1 interception down on the goal line that I wish we told him, do not throw that ball to Larry because Hickley's going to get it, and he did. But you know, it's hard. It's hard, but everybody, you know, players came to me and said, hey, let's get Ryan back. And I said, hey, I'm all with you guys. I'm all with you.
So what are they doing right now, like in those offensive meetings? Like, how do you possibly get on the same page in short order?
Yeah, I think one thing is to get the backup ready, and just in case, you know, because you don't want to get to that third guy if you don't have to. But I think Jared sat in those meetings. He knows the offense inside out, and he reminds me a lot of Drew Stanton in that he's a gamer. He gets a shot out there, he's going to win.
Jordan Palmer, who I don't know how well you know, Carson Palmer, there's got to be something there. Jordan said yesterday that if Jarrett Stidham and Drake May both play at their best, I don't think it's much different. What do you have to say to that?
Oh, I don't believe that one. No. Drake May's playing at his MVP level, and he is just off the charts. I love his deep ball. I loved him coming out. I thought it was a great quarterback class, and he was the top of the class for me with the measurables. But his competitive spirit, the family comes from, but he can sling it. I mean, his deep ball is so good, and he's so accurate, and he's so athletic. So yeah, I don't think they're not equal in that regard, but they can both play at a very high level.
Who's winning this one?
I still think the Broncos get it at home.
Because of home or defense, or?
I think the defense will get some turnovers. You know, Luke Campbell struggled. Campbell struggled last week with the speed pass rush off that blind side, and that's one thing Denver does. And Drake had like 3 or 4 fumbles off that backside. I can see that happening again in this game. and Denver cashing in.
I talked a little bit yesterday about what it would mean for Coach Payton to win the Super Bowl like this. Couple seasons there, took that year off. He's got a bit of a complicated history. If once the Hall of Fame stuff starts coming in, what would be impressive to you? Would it be that impressive? Would he, like from your perspective, doing this first guy to do it with two different teams, and he'll do it with a backup quarterback?
Yeah, I think Sean's already a Hall of Fame guy. I think just adds to the resume if he were to pull it off. I think that just solidifies is probably 1 year and you're in. With coaches, they kind of change the rule. And so, yeah, I don't believe it affects his resume at all as far as the Hall of Fame. I think he's already in.
I'm supposed to ask you about Father Lefty.
Was that from Sean?
It just came to my head right now. Any thoughts on Father Lefty, Coach?
I don't know where Father is right now, and it's not Father, it's just Lefty Flag.
Yeah. And peace be with you, Lefty, wherever you may be. Okay, yes, we're going to wrap this up. I'm glad I got a good laugh out of you, as expected. As the play was drawn up, you nailed it. Let's take a look before you go. But here's the 4 quarterbacks in the field. Interesting group. It's Championship Sunday. There are 4 different stories, 4 different stages of their career. Here's some rapid-fire questions for you, Coach. Pick a quarterback, any quarterback. May, Stidham, Stafford, Darnold, which one gives us the play that we're talking about Monday morning most?
Well, I think they can all do it, but I think Matthew Stafford, with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and some of the throws he can make. And the other guy's Drake May. I mean, that throw to Butte last week and that catch, I mean, that was the highlight of the week for me.
Which quarterback most likely to have a 300-yard game and why?
Oh, gosh, I think, again, Matthew Stafford. I think the other 3, they're going to protect a little bit, try to run the ball more. But, again, big shots down the field. Watch out for Drake.
Which quarterback does have the best deep ball?
I think Drake May. I think, man, he's just got such great touch on it. And Matthew does too, but sometimes Matthew going to overshoot him.
Which quarterback do you have the most questions about going into this weekend?
That would be Sam Darnold. As good as he's playing, this Ram defense just seems to be a bugaboo for him.
You have more questions about Sam Darnold than Jarrett Stidham?
Yeah, because I kind of know what Jarrett's going to give me.
I don't know how, but okay, I love that. Which quarterback would you be happiest to win a Super Bowl with?
Oh, gosh, probably Jarrett Stidham, just for the same reason. To do it with a backup is really, really special. Yeah,
you, him, Sean, and Lefty can take that plane down to Disney World and have a great little day. BA, you're the absolute best. Thank you for always the candor, the honesty. We appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
You're the best. Hopefully we'll see you at Super Bowl. We'll be back after this. Justin Reid on the program. Great stuff. Great start to the show. Let's keep it going here on Up and Adams. I don't think we can. You got to just clip it off and send that to me. I don't know what to do with that information. Thank you.
I don't know either.
Is this a farewell bobble?
No.
A goodbye bubble?
Don't even. No.
No, I don't think I can. No. This is not one. Thank you to Bucks, by the way. Bucks have the best merch in the business. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that goodbye.
No.
Levante will make me sad, but made man, live your life. Mike too, actually.
Yeah.
Mike, you can leave.
But Mike's,
you can retire.
Yeah.
Rest easy. Oh my God, Sam Ellinger. I love Sam Ellinger's wife. I went to London.
I didn't know that.
I made a vlog and I didn't post it. I hung out with the Broncos' wives, and they're all best friends and lovely. And Sam Ellinger. They're all a very beautiful group. Wives, husbands. They're great looking group. What do you think of his super? You have to win. So basically, he's saying this for Jake. He's saying Josh Allen should not have a say.
Yeah.
Win a Super Bowl, young man.
So we were discussing it this morning, and we were each giving our criteria. That was mine was you either have to have a Super Bowl or an MVP. He took it just to Super Bowl, which It's fair.
Can I see that? Do we have
Shouldn't
that
just give
list?
it-
Can I see that list again? There has to be a pushback to that.
Just gonna let everybody.
Like Joe Burrow shouldn't have a say, you're saying?
That's a tough one. Yeah,
Lamar
that's
shouldn't have a say?
Yeah, Lamar should because he's got MVPs.
Okay,
Joe's
got
the
it.
one where I would say Joe
No,
has done
maybe
enough
Joe
to
shouldn't
say.
have a say.
He went to a Super
Joe
Bowl
went
at least.
Joe went and got those receivers paid and the defense paid for, like, shh.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I don't know. That's not how I actually feel, but. You know
But
what I
yeah,
mean?
but
There's
I
this
think he's
idea
done
that,
enough.
like,
And
there's this idea
yeah.
that, like, you're invested in a different way, maybe, as a, I don't know. Like, would you, is it too much power to give to a player that has a very insular view? They can't step out of it. Not like that's, but then the coach can't either.
No,
it's all politics and favorites and bullshit anyway. Then why not let the quarterback? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I want to be like, oh, but GMs and they have like a different view. Do they? I don't know. They'll hire their besties anay. We're mad at Josh wanting to hire his
and their
bestie.
best
Look at
friends'
the
kids,
NFL.
and
All people do is hire their besties. Anyway.
Here comes an extra body. Robinson picks up the pressure, and that ball is out of the hands of Kyle Pitts, and it's the veteran Justin Reid with the move and the touchdown. His first in 7 years, and the Saints are right back in it.
Let's go! Two-time Super Bowl champ, bestie of the show, safety for the New Orleans Saints, coming off a very strong finish to the season. Good to see you, Justin. Top 10 defense in the league. I love it. I love it.
Hey, you feel me?
I feel you.
This year was all about building the foundation, so that's what we set out to do, and we were just chasing doing that.
You're frozen, my friend.
Oh, man, can you hear me still?
I can hear you. Let's see if we can maybe see you. You look like me after I get Botox. Let's try to get some movement back on the screen. Is he going to log back in, maybe? Okay, we're going to take a quick break. That was your little tease. You want more, Justin? You got to subscribe to the YouTube, and you got to stay right here. We'll be back here ahead of Conference Championship Weekend on Up and Evans. What rant was I on?
Oh, about the quarterbacks having a say in coaches.
Biased I am. Coach said yesterday on Pat McAfee that he said it here too, that he didn't think the Bills had enough talent, and I just didn't question him. Who did I question it? Gronk?
But Gronk, yeah.
But I can't
Question
argue
would
with BA.
be putting it mildly, yeah.
I didn't say, like, that's like...
We almost needed Joel McHale Animal Control.
I'm no
on you
journalist.
in that segment.
I'm no journalist, because I should have handled that by the book the same way. But I just let it wash right over me. Did we get what we wanted out of that Baker? No. I knew that was going to happen.
He did say,
No.
yeah. Like,
What?
The coach, he said the coach should call him. It's not up to, that idea that Baker could have texted him is, bogus.
Do we have Justin?
I also have heard Justin has this like crazy home studio set up right now. I heard he has a prompter, all this stuff at his disposal. We gotta get this going.
Huh?
I've heard that Justin has this invests in this crazy home studio setup. He has a prompter. He's got everything you could possibly ask for. And then he freezes.
What are you gonna do? I can't complain. My shit gets.
There we go.
mean,
Yeah.
You'll never hear from me about a bad connection or bad. Like, did I give Romeo Dobbs any shit? I did not.
No.
Want to know why? Because sometimes I look like I'm in a broom closet, and you can't hear what I'm saying, and that's just how life is sometimes. So I would never listen. Live your life, Justin Reid. There's gremlins.
Yeah.
There's tech gremlins in this world trying to bring you down,
Always.
trying to stop you from greatness, Justin. You can't let them. The show must go on. Somebody interrupts, wants to bring you a USA Today because you want the crossword to unwind a little bit after a lot of social time. You need to recharge. I'm not mad at you.
This is just turned into you making excuses for yourself.
Yeah, answer the door. Listen, Damador Lenore, You want that squeaking to happen? Bring it on. Who don't want to make their bed? Great. Don't make your bed.
Nate Wiggins.
Nate Wiggins, don't make your bed.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, great. Love having our guy Justin Reid on the show. We're not going to do the whole intro again. You know you're amazing. We love you. You look great. You're smiling.
I wouldn't have been mad if we played it back one more time, but I know we have a timeline to keep it.
I'm glad you got to see it. This is the first time you're smiling. This is the first time in 4 years that you're not playing a conference championship weekend. On one hand, that's a hell of a flex.
Yeah.
But how do you sit with that?
Yeah, you know what? When I signed with, he kind of knew what the situation was. This was going to be a year of building, and we're still so close to making the playoffs too. I mean, defense, I felt like balled all year, and then offense started putting it together towards the end of the year and really laid a strong foundation. But once I swallowed the pill that, hey, we're not in the playoffs this year, in some ways it's actually nice to have a couple of extra weeks off. We've been playing 6 extra weeks of football each week, and I love every bit of it.
Yeah.
But once you accept the reality that we're out of it, it's like, okay, well, got a little extra free time on our hands.
I think it would hurt. It would hurt if the Chiefs were in it.
Yes and no.
No?
Yes and no. I mean, I don't have any envy toward any of those guys at the foundation or the organization or anything like that. I still cheer those guys on. Those are my boys, Stafford players.
Of course.
It hurt me to see Patrick go down the way that he did and then to have the season that they did.
Yeah, let's talk about you. We'll get to Patrick and all of that. By the way, all this time you've got some picking up some new hobbies. Tell me about you moonlighting as an NBA photographer for the Pelicans.
Listen, this is like Pokemon. I'm trying to capture them all.
Tell me about
I got the whole Photoshop, I got the whole photography thing, the videography thing. You guys know I do chess. You guys know I golf. So I like to keep myself busy. I like a little bit of a Renaissance man. I like to try a little bit of everything. So it was a fun thing.
Are you a good golfer?
I'm pretty decent. I'm like an 8. I've shot.
I don't think I've ever asked an NFL player if they're a good golfer and heard I am. I think you might be the first player to say he's a good golfer.
I said I'm terrible. I said an 8. An 8 is decent.
You said
8.
Decent
I'm not winning
than
any tournaments, but I'm competitive though.
Got to get you in the pro.
ACC this year. I just want to be playing in the afternoon on the last day.
Sure. I don't even know what that means. Okay, I do know about football. Let's take a look. Let's start with these final 4 teams. You've got a lot of connections, my friend, to them. Jared Stidham, you faced him back in 2022. He started for the Raiders.
Yeah, I actually got a good story about Jared because he tried to. When he was committed to Texas Tech, he was trying so hard. We were the same class in high school. He was trying so hard to get me to commit to Texas Tech. And then he flips the Baylor. It's like, bro, you spent months trying to wine and dine me to come to Texas Tech with you, and then you flip the Baylor.
What does being wined and dined by Stidham look like?
Just text messages, bro messages or whatever. I love him. That's my dude. I think we're at the opening together, too. But just all those text messages, and then he had his flip, and then I ended up making the decision to go to Stanford. So it's kind of funny.
I didn't know you two were that close. I love that. So tell me about him, because I was just talking to Coach Bruce Arians. The world feels more excited that he's starting because of his athleticism. Even that game back in 2022, he had 50 rushing yards against you. He can create with his legs, all of this. Looking at this game, give me the Justin Reid breakdown of Stidham and why he won't have success.
You know what? I also agree with Coach Arians that I don't think it'll be as much of a drop-off as people initially think that it is. I think that Jared is solid. He's just a consistent player. And I think that, he can make the throws. He can be smart. He can make, plays when you need him to. And he'll manage the game well. He'll take care of the ball. And he'll have he'll need a little bit of help, but that Broncos defense is going to be fire. Despite all of that, though, I disagree with Coach in that I'm still going to take the Patriots winning this one in Denver. Even though the Broncos are on fire and their defense is the better defense, in my opinion, I just think that Mike Vrabel finds a way.
I feel like Denver, the idea of Denver, I have Julian and Gronk who've lost at the hands of Mile High. Say it's such a difficult place. I myself find it to be underrated as a tough place to go and get a win. You're 2-1 there. You have experience there. Is it what's the lore of Mile High to you? Is it not that great? Because
they
keep being underdogs there. Like, what role does Mile High play this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, that stadium, they live, eat, and breathe football over there. Like the environment is electric. It's crazy. They come out. It doesn't matter what the weather is. They want it colder. That altitude is a real thing. I've had some teammates that literally can't play the game because they had sickle cell trait or whatever. Like, they literally are not allowed to play the game because that altitude really makes a difference. But it's an electric atmosphere to go play on, and one of the better stadiums in the league as a player to go out and play on field in.
Drake May and the Pats, they have to deal with Surtain and company. How could Drake's experience playing Houston's defense help him for this matchup? And, like, what do I need to know from your eyes in this one, as you think he'll have success?
Yeah, I mean, going against those cats that they had in the secondary in Houston and being able to come away there, it's not going to be any easier with Hufanga and Pat Surtain, and then
Benito.
Them dogs that they have up front. But, I think more than anything, it's just not trying to force the ball. Like, take what the defense gives you, stay in control of the game, manage the clock. Don't try and turn this into, what used to be Pac-12 football, where you're trying to throw the ball all over the field, 100 times a game. Like, take control of the game, take your time, run the clock, and then, make that big play when it opens itself up to you.
He got sacked 5 times, fumbled 4 times against Houston.
Yeah.
Not great. But you faced Drake week 6. He made some nice throws on that one.
Yeah, he did. Especially that first quarter.
Yeah. What doesn't get enough attention? Is it his arm? I mean, BA was just going off about his arm.
Yeah, you know what? He's just like, he makes the plays, he makes the routine plays look routine. Like, it's not like Patrick Mahomes, I'm diving sideways and slide arm slinging it, you know what I mean? But they're going to run the ball, they're going to pound the rock, they're going to open up the play action, and when it's time to throw that deep ball, he throws a pretty ball. He makes it easy on his wide receiver to go back and get it. He'll create just enough space, buying time in the pocket to make the throw. Like, I like the kid a lot. He has that prototypical stature with his build, a little bit bigger than what you think he'd be. I think that he's a very solid quarterback, and we're playing a long time.
A very solid quarterback. I can't believe you think the Patriots are going to win. That's wild to me. You played against.
Hey, let's not bring back all those guys that voted on Houston all at once, and then you saw what happened there.
I did in fact see that. Your connection to Rams Seattle. You've played Stafford. You've played against him 3 times in your career.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah. Killer.
We talked about him doing that no-look throw the whole week, and it was like, yo, like, this guy, you don't try and jump the route. Like, literally, if your spot is here, just stay there. And then he still hit us with one on like a 3rd and 14 or something.
And you don't know there's no tell there on the no-look, like when it's coming, and like, how does that feel to be on the other end of that? That must just suck.
Yeah, it does. It's honestly deflating. Like, when that play happens, and it's especially a 3rd and long play, and it's like, this is our opportunity to get off the field, swing momentum, and then he does something like that, and you're kind of like, dang, well, we knew he could do it, and you kind of just got to take it on the chin and keep playing. But it is a slightly deflating feeling when that happens, because it's like, yo, like, we got to find a way to stop this guy, get the ball out or something.
I mean, he does give DBs a chance, especially lately. I feel like he's thrown a couple more interceptions. Is there any, tell? Like, is there any way to bait him into making that kind of a throw?
Yeah, sometimes when he's ready, like, I wouldn't say he predetermines it, but he has this guy, and I feel like sometimes he wants to take a shot downfield. Mm-hmm. And when he has that feeling that, okay, I want to take the shot downfield, sometimes he was like, I'm just going to throw it. Like, he gives his guys a chance, like Devontae or Kobe Parkinson or whatever. He feels like he wants to give him a 50-50 ball. He'll take that chance. But, sometimes 50-50, that 50-50 goes the other way. So, it's a big risk, big reward type of thing. And you just got to, stay deep, stay on top. My biggest thing is, like, try and force him to be patient, because eventually he's going to take that deep shot regardless.
And do you, feel that is what you're saying? You feel like when he's going to try to do that?
Yeah, like when we played them this past year,
Yeah.
like I saw that there was Devontae in the slot. I saw that our disguise on this particular play wasn't great. He knew that he had me and Devontae one-on-one in
Yeah.
the slot, and I was like, this just feels like it's going to be a slot fade. Like it just feels like
I
it's
would
going to be that. So I backed up.
Yeah?
And even though I backed up and I had leverage on top, he still threw it. He still threw it, and he ended up overthrowing the both of us. I actually had a chance on that ball. But, you know, it's just like you kind of, if you're paying attention, you can feel it a little bit. But at the end of the day, even if you know it's coming, you still got to stop it.
100%.
You know what I mean? You can know it's coming, you still got to stop it, though.
And then, like, I was looking at your game against them. You were like 50-50. You hung out with Puka. You hung out with Adams. What's like, who's more dangerous, you think? You mean if you just look at this matchup against Seattle? Which one of those two? Because people want to say, Puka, he's more athletic, he's more explosive, he's younger, but like Devontae's a dog.
No, he is. He is. Devontae is one of my top 3 all-time players, personally. I would say if you're in the red zone, Devontae, 100%. I would just double team him, honestly. Just double team, because you're not going to, don't leave a corner one-on-one.
Cannot do that.
When you can do the slant, don't do it. You know, and if you're in the field, then Puka won it because they do all these insert plays where he lines up and he releases inside of the tackle through the line of scrimmage, and then he runs a 7 route or a dig route. Or if you're in the field, anything past the 25-yard line, all my attention's on Puka. Once you get inside of the 25-yard line, that flips to Devontae.
How big of a home field advantage does Seattle have?
I mean, it should be 12th man. I actually went to my brother's rookie year when he was with the 49ers. They played Seattle in the NFC Championship game. I was at that game in the stadium in Seattle, and it was insane. It was such a fun place, such a fun environment to be in. And I think that Seattle, because my bet's honestly on the Rams to win it.
Really?
But I think that Seattle can pull it off, and I think that them being in their whole stadium is going to help them.
It helps them maybe more than Denver's helps Denver. Just the experience of Stafford. There's like so much experience on Seattle's side. I wonder, like.
Exactly. You want to be in your home stadium. You want to be in being in LA would be a different environment. You want everything to be as comfortable as possible.
Do you think that like people overblow experience in this? Like obviously Sean has it.
No.
Matt has it. Devontae has a playoff experience. No, you don't think so?
Experience is the playoffs is where experience actually shows up. You know, the regular season.
Tell me exactly. Everyone says that, but then it's like, I don't know. Like
the regular season
Stidham could go wreck shop. So explain this to me. In this game, where will I see experience matter? Where will it show up?
Yeah, I mean, guys' heart rates, like just the routine plays, like even plays that you've done 100 times during the regular season, like guys are like, okay, I can, let my breath out. Like, hey, we'll go to the next one. But during the playoffs, guys without experience, their heart rate speeds up. You know what I mean? They have that nervous energy, and that nervous energy does 2 things. One, it drains you faster, so you get tired faster. You hit the 4th quarter and you're tired. You're not as cool, calm, and collected, managing your energy throughout the game. And then secondly, you just have more mental mistakes. Like if you ever did a deep dive on a lot of the playoff games, there is so many mistakes that happen. Like more than regular season games, there's a lot more mistakes that usually happen in playoff games because you have a bunch of young guys who's their first time doing it. Maybe they're trying to make a play. Maybe they're trying to do something extra and it ends up creating, a hole or a deficit or whatever. So experience comes in and just keeping everybody calm, confident, make the routine plays routine, and just execute at a high level. You don't have those little errors that, maybe a quarterback is juiced up and he just throws it too hard. You know what I mean? You keep the balls soft and catchable, receivers are sure-handed, all those little things.
I'm sure you enjoyed, on some level, just being a defensive guy, seeing these turnovers by Josh Allen. Just like a great thing. That sad story for him, but great story for the defense.
Yeah.
And then within this, the next day, the conversation is he's the best quarterback. He's the greatest quarterback, all these things. And I'm like, Patrick, where? And that's kind of where my head went as far as like that, what do you think? This debate over, it's not even a debate. People aren't even bringing Patrick up. Who deserves that crown right now?
Best quarterback in the league? Between Josh and Patrick?
No, in general, who is the best? All things considered, the way I look at it, I can just tell you, is my goal is to win a Super Bowl, who do I trust to win the Super Bowl?
my opinion would have been Bo Nix, honestly. You know, pre Bo Nix going down, just
what
because
you know. About?
I like Bo Nix. I love Josh. I love Josh, and he's just a prototypical. But Bo with Sean Payton, I mean, I don't know. He's young. He's made a ton of mistakes, but I thought that he had a super high ceiling.
No, I need more. You're gonna take. You think Bo Nix?
Well, let's take a fact. Let's take a look at the biggest prototypical big dogs that we have, right? So Patrick, it was a down year for the Chiefs.
That doesn't mean he's not the best quarterback.
That does not mean he's not the best quarterback, right? But the execution level. Are we talking just like because there's always this conversation: do you tie quarterback play to production and team wins, or you tie quarterback play purely to how that quarterback did? You know what I mean? Because to me, they're related. Like how the team performs as a whole is related. You can be the best quarterback. Patrick, when we're playing together, like before I got to Kansas City, he was able to sling the ball out there, throwing for 500 yards a game, et cetera, et cetera. And then the years that we won the Super Bowl, he actually had to take down his quarterback play. He was like, okay, I'm just going to play a little bit more technical time management. We have a good defense that's playing. And we were winning games, by 2 points, 1 point, 24-20, you know what I mean? Whatever. So he has that ceiling, the capability. You're talking about who I think has the highest ceiling.
Put Patrick in there.
Who has the highest ceiling? Patrick Mahomes, bar none. Patrick Mahomes, bar none. Highest ceiling, highest
I feel like
level.
Here's your first take audition. Stephen A., call my friend Justin, and he will hot take it for you. And I love Bo. I'm a huge Bo supporter. But that's a little wild. I love that. Listen, congrats on a great season. This defense was top 10, and that's my friend. Insert Justin Reid there, all the work that you did. Incredible year building on it, which I love. I hear from the Saints and their fans. They're so embracing of you and amazing. And by the way, if you love Justin, there's the J. Reid Indeed Foundation hosting its annual Coding for the Culture event. It is Friday, February 6th at your alma mater, Stanford. You should invite me. I want to come. Thank you, Justin. Enjoy the off season. I better see you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to pull up, Kate.
Yeah, Bo Nix, best quarterback in the league. All right.
Yeah.
We're dabbing at.